Welcome back to the Current Electric High School Basketball Girls State Championship Preview Show presented by Cannon and Duffy. I'm Mike McGivern alongside my co-host, Coach Sid from St. Francis. Tip-off is right around the corner for the first state semifinal in Division III as Elk Mound takes on Appleton Xavier. The second matchup in Division III features the number 2 Oostburg team versus number 3 Laconia. These two teams started the season playing each other, with Laconia beating Oostburg 65-54. Coach, let's start with the Lady Dutch, not the Flying Dutchman, the Lady Dutch from Oostburg. They're 26-2 overall, won the Big East-South Conference with a 12-0 record. They are coached by Isaiah Ketterhagen. And I can tell you that I've known Isaiah, coached against him a while back, and awfully good basketball coach. He's got 3 daughters playing on this team, and they've had a really good year.
Yeah, Isaiah, I've kind of known through AAU basketball. Really nice guy. I was at their sectional final game against CMH. His daughters are special players. The first matchup with Laconia in the regular season was game 1 of their season, and Riley was out with an injury, which makes a difference, obviously. And Kinsley had a pretty good debut with 20, I believe she had 26, what did she have, 26 and like 9 rebounds and a bunch of assists. Not bad for a freshman debut.
Not bad for a freshman. Dad had to be awfully proud. You know, you talked about injuries, and we talked to Isaiah, and he talked a little bit about this season.
It's been a good road. It's been a good ride. It's been an interesting year. We had, before we played Laconia on game 1, we found out Riley, my younger twin, tore her meniscus, and we had heard that she was going to be out for the year, so we kind of revamped some things and figured some things out, and then took the floor to Laconia that night, and then we went on a 22-game stretch, a win streak that was really good for our team, and then of course the gauntlet of Sectional 4 that we came out of, that was really good. We had some really good games with KML and the last one with Catholic Memorial, so that really tested us. I think the really cool thing about our team is when Riley came back and we got the news that it was going to be a little bit of a third of a season that she was going to be out. She was on restrictions for a while, and then when she was full go, Kinsley ripped up her ankle at Sheboygan Lutheran in a big conference match with them, and then she was out for about 3 weeks. So of our 28 games, taking like restrictions out and girls going full go, it was like, I think we're on game 8 or 9 where we have no restrictions, no health concerns, and we're starting to figure ourselves out. So it's really cool time of the year for us. And I think without those injuries, and I tell my daughters this, without those injuries, we don't have kids like Aubrey Van Ness and Macy Bergink and Jordan Lentz and Allison Schmitz step up and be put in really uncomfortable positions and figure out how to grow from them. So it's really helped out our team in a well-rounded manner.
Imagine this, Coach, 26-2, and you said we're just starting to now figure it all out, which I love. You know, I had a chance to coach my son in high school. I can't imagine having 3 daughters on the same team, coaching all 3 together. There's times there's so much joy in that household, and there are times where it's like, well, she's not passing me the ball enough. Well, you're not rebounding enough. You got to defend better. And I'm wondering what the dynamic of that household is, you know, on a Saturday morning after a tough Friday night game.
And they have a 4th daughter too coming up. Right. The youngest, his wife, their mother, must be a saint.
She has a special place in heaven for her. So Oostburg's going to take on the Spartans from Laconia, 24-4 overall, undefeated in the Flyweight Conference, and coached by Chris Morgan. 5 of the last 7 years, they've made it to the Rush Center and have won Division IV state championship the last 2 years. Coach, when you have a guy like Coach Morgan, who is obviously, this program has been rolling for a long time, got to feel pretty good about where the program's at. I'm sure the youth program in Laconia is off the charts in girls basketball.
Yeah, obviously they got it rolling. You know, the seniors know nothing but the state tournament, 4 straight trips, 2 gold balls. They're bumped up a division, but he schedules a super tough schedule if you look at their losses. So they'll be prepared. That's a tough matchup with Oostburg. That's going to be a really good game.
It's going to be a great game. And you know, we talked to Chris about getting this 3 seed, and I can tell you, not really happy about getting the 3 seed. And he made a comment about the WIAA, and I can tell you they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder getting to the 3 seed. Let's listen to Chris.
To me, I think to a lot of us here, we feel disrespected a little bit. So, you know, we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder, which I think we always do. We're always playing with something to prove, you know, but I just think that, man, we really went out and challenged ourselves this year, and what happened with the seeding. I think it shows that the WI doesn't care about what your strength of schedule is. So we're going to use it as motivation. You know, it puts us against Oostburg right away, which we started the season with them, and that was a great matchup, and we're looking forward to battling them again.
You know, as coaches, we find things like that. Right? If you've ever watched that documentary with Michael Jordan, he'd make up things like that to get himself going. And I give Chris Morgan a lot of credit. Look, he can use this. It's us against them. They think we're this 3 seed. We've been up here 5 of the last 7 years, won back-to-back state championships, and they think we're the 3 seed. So let's go out and show them that we're the best team in this division in the state of Wisconsin. The fact that he, you know, made that comment. There's been a lot of comments on my radio show during the break about how the WI doesn't care about who we schedule, so why don't we just schedule cupcakes to get all these wins? I give them a lot of credit. That schedule he put together was going to challenge this team of seniors that are so used to winning, and to have 4 losses for them is a lot. That's more losses than they normally would have. And for him to set that up and say, let's go through this. And if we get a couple of losses, again, like we had talked about earlier, some losses aren't all that bad. Can you imagine being back-to-back state champions and having to talk about we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder?
Would be nice. Would be nice. You know, Chris knows what he's doing, so I'm not going to question his comments or his style. I mean, he's got a bunch of really good players, but the 4 kids in double figures. His one daughter's a sophomore. My fault, Finley.
Yes,
is a sophomore. But the other 3 with Leonard and Madigan and his older daughter Peyton. I mean, they're not gonna. They might not need extra motivation, but if that's what it takes for them to get over and win this Division III championship, so be it.
Yeah, I kind of liked what the fact that he was willing to come out and say that, and just say, hey, listen, we're going to use this in the locker room. I can tell you this, that's one of the games that I've circled, because I think that matchup between Oostburg and Laconia is going to be as good a game as we're going to see in the next few days. I really believe that, and looking forward to watching those 2 teams, 2 really good coaches, kind of go at it. It's going to be a little bit of a chess match, and I think early on you're going to kind of see that Laconia's been there a lot, and they're going to be really comfortable right from the jump. And I think it might take Oostburg 3, 4, 5 minutes to kind of get into what they're going to run, how they're going to run it, to knock down some shots. My hope is that before that, that first TV timeout, that they're within 4 or 6. Because I think Laconia will probably come out and jump on Oostburg pretty quick on this one.
Yeah, that could be the game of the tournament if it plays out as advertised.
Yeah, I agree with that. Guys, let's get to a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to break down the 2 Division IV matchups. This is the Current Electric High School Basketball Girls State Championship Preview Show, presented by Cannon and Dumphy, only on My 24.